Okay, look, it's Auldey Nemesis Prime. So, want to get ahead of anyone who might be thinking it. I'm not doing any of the other Aldi figures unless I could somehow get a hold of that G1 Toy Colors Megatron for a not unreasonable price. That looks really cool. But I just wanted the Nemesis Prime, and so I got the Nemesis Prime. This is the only Aldi figure we're going to be looking at, but for what it is, this is pretty neat. It's essentially very similar to the AMK Pro Nemesis from Yellow Park, except it's already built, it's a blind box, and it's smaller. So nothing like it, really. We'll go over more of that later. But yeah, this is pretty cool. It's just a little action figure of Nemesis Prime. It's really nicely articulated. Detailing's pretty nice. It's a little bit simple in terms of detailing, but it's also not, because, you know, it's a G1 Optimus Prime, so it's gonna be simplistic. Like, there's not a ton of greebling or anything like that, but they did get a lot of the details in there, like these little triangles in the corners of his shins just above the vents that are there for some reason. And of course, all the detailing in the thighs. He's got these little doors on his arms, which I thought were like flip-up communicator things, but no, they're just for peg holes that you can open up, and that's a thing that you can do. I don't know, it's a Nemesis. It's another Nemesis Prime that's G1 Prime. He has the single Decepticon logo on his shoulder, and I like this one is just a white outline rather than being purple. I don't know, I think that looks really good on a Nemesis. And around back, it's very clean because he doesn't transform. As I said before, the detailing is nice. I am noticing the chest lights don't have any paint on them, which is a little bit disappointing, but whatever. The head is the kind of head I like, the one that's not the ball cap visor. I don't know, I just like that on a Nemesis Prime. He looks appropriately angry, which is to say black helmet with red eyes. And also you can move these around, which I wish they either didn't move or didn't move as easily, but whatever. He looks good for what he is. Now, the articulation is pretty much why you get this thing. That, and for me, because it's a Nemesis Prime. So the head is on a ball joint and hinge, it looks like. Basically, there's a hinge that connects the head to the neck that allows it to look up and down. It can look up quite a ways. But then the base of the neck is a ball joint. And that allows him to look all the way around and go side to side. And he can look up even more using that ball joint, and also down more using the ball joint. And again, I just keep bumping those ears, which is very annoying. The shoulders are ball jointed, so you can go around, you can go out, and you get a little bit of butterfly style wiggle, but you also get a dedicated butterfly joint that it only comes out this far. It actually stops when you get to here. There's room for it to keep going, but yeah, it stops. It kind of stinks that it can't go any further than that, but I do appreciate the fact that it fills in the joint so it doesn't look disconnected. You get a bicep rotation, a single jointed elbow, which is is it single jointed? Yeah, it's single jointed. It's a single jointed elbow that does bend past 90, but I don't know, I feel like for something like this, maybe they could have given him double jointed elbows. Similarly, for the fists or hands, they're just pegged in, so they rotate, but they don't move up and down side to side, which is a little bit of a bummer. The torso is not a bummer, though, because it can swivel side to side, but you also get side to side rocker, as well as some back crunch and really pretty deep ab crunch going forward. Actually, even deeper than, wow, okay, it just keeps going. So extremely deep forward ab crunch. Now, for the hips, they are limited, except they are not. So if you have the hips like this, they can only go forward that far, can only go back about that far, and can only go out about that far. However, they are on a kind of split drop-down hinge. So you can see from here, if you're familiar with the Combiner Wars, breakdown mold? The Combiner Wars breakdown mold. It's kind of like that, where it's just this swivel hinge going through the pelvis section that allows the hips to drop down. But if you do it in a way that's not extreme and silly, you actually can bring the hips down, and by bringing the hips down enough, you can use the motion in conjunction with the hip swivel, hip swivel, thigh swivel, to kick forward and back a pretty decent amount and go out practically all the way. You also get thigh rotation, and for the knee is single jointed, but it bends pretty deep for being a single jointed knee, and again, it fills in the joint a little bit. And for the feet, they can go forward a lot. They can go back a fair bit too, but you kind of have to like shift them forward to go back. You get a toe. The toe is also on a ball joint, so you can wiggle that around. And then of course you can use the joint for the ankle for some side to side tilt and some rotation. It's not super extensive because the just the stuff around the shins here can get in the way, but it's enough to get the job done. So he is pretty nicely posable. Now for accessories, he's got this thing, these things, this thing. There, you can actually see it. So he's got all this stuff, and this, all of these things tucked in the back of the box, and a card. He comes with a card. All hail Megatron, indeed. It's neat. I like the cutouts on the sides, and that is what it is. I like that they also seem to use the actual figure rather than an illustration. That's kind of neat. Okay, so all of this stuff is a lot. So we'll put this stuff off to the side for now and come back to that after we've looked at these two, after we've looked at the accessories. So first off, I want to say, these bits here, I did not have any idea what these were. These came packaged underneath the bubble that the figure came in, and they were just kind of wrapped up in something, and there was like this, I think it was Chinese on the packaging that was trying to explain what these were, but like I can't read Chinese, so I don't know. But I used a translate to figure it out. Basically what these are replacement hip joints. This joint right in here, you can kind of see if we look at it from this angle. This is what those are. They're a replacement for these joints. I don't entirely know why. I guess maybe in case you break them somehow. But that's what those pieces are. And then he also comes with all of these hands. As you can see, he's got his regular punchy fists in place. But we can swap these out. And to swap these out, you have to pop out. But there we go. They go in a little too well for my taste, but they pop out. And then for other hands, you get the splayed open hand. Pop that in. There we go. So you got the splayed open hand, which you can use for very dramatic poses or silly poses. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Yank this off. Again, really wish this wasn't as much of a pain to do. I'm sure heating up the joint is probably preferable, but I don't really feel like digging out our hairdryer just to swap hands around. He's got the pointing finger, so he can say that you did it. It was you. You are the one who smelt it and therefore are also the one who dealt it. Yes, he can point. He can, well, actually, because of the limitations here, he can't really poke himself, and I guess he can kind of... Is that a thing? I don't know. Is that a pose? And then, of course, he has the fist what for holding stuff. That is just the fist with a hole in it, because you can give him his ion blaster, which looks like his ion blaster, and that just pegs in, and there we go. He can do the shoot bangs, and my preference is to give him the sword, which I think the sword is pretty cool. They did do it in black plastic and then paint the blade, which I appreciate because I'm still really annoyed at that Siege Nemesis sword that's like translucent pink plastic, and they painted the grip black, so I don't want to use it because I don't want to strip the paint off of it. But anyway, this goes into the fist, and this is actually a much more solid grip. It still comes in and out, but it's got like a little bit of a click to it as you push it down, just because of the ridges. I don't know, it's nice that he can hold it so well. And he can sword things. But the real reason I wanted to get this guy after already getting the AMK Pro version of Nemesis is... Get one of these other hands out of the way. And the Ion Blaster, is because of this weird stuff that he comes with. He essentially comes with 2/3 of Starscream's coronation gear. He's got the shoulder pads and the cape. He does not come with the crown, but you can peg the you can peg the cape into the back, and it's just this single peg goes into the back here, and the other, the actual cape is on a ball joint connection. You can't really wiggle these bits around that much. Like, you can wiggle them out if you want to have them unfurling, but you can't bring them in just because of how they peg in and how all this is molded. And I do wish this didn't sit so far back. That's just the length of the stock that the ball is on for the ball joint. I wish that was a little bit closer to the body, but when you're looking at him from the front, it doesn't look bad. So he's got the cape, and then you've got the coronation shoulder pads, which is so weird, but I actually do think these are fun. Like, it helps to set this guy apart from other Nemesis Primes. And the way this works is you've got 2 peg holes on the inside of the shoulder pad, and you want to use the smaller peg hole, the one that's closer to the opening here, to go over the smokestack. And the smokestack itself is actually what pegs into the shoulder pad. And that just slides in, pegs on. And like, this is completely ridiculous, but I really like this ridiculousness as well. There's just something about a Nemesis Prime in like overcompensating shoulder pads with a cape that's just very funny and appealing to me. So yeah, this is fun. I like this. He's definitely got his problems. I wish the elbows were double jointed. I wish that there was maybe a little bit more paint in a few places, though I don't entirely know where that would be. But like, you can pull off some fun, expressive poses with this guy. I really like that. Now, for size comparisons, I'm sure the thing everyone wants to see first and foremost is how he stacks up to Blocky's Nemesis Prime. So as you can see, he is a fair bit taller than Blocky's Nemesis Prime, and I do find it a little bit disappointing that he's got some limitations that this little thing doesn't have, but then vice versa, this guy's got some incredible joint range that this thing absolutely does not have. Of course I kid. I know what everyone really wants to see is the AMK Pro Nemesis Prime, so we'll bring him in here. The Auldey figure is much smaller. So much smaller. Like, even if I reposition, you can see that, like, height-wise, yeah, the AMK Pro figure is much bigger. And also much heavier, because there is die-cast in this guy. And as far as the rest of them go, here he is with the Siege mold, the Studio Series 86 mold, Studio Series Leader Class Age of Extinction Prime, who, yet again, I still have yet to do the Nemesis custom on this, but it's on my to-do list. And Reactivate Soundwave, because I love this figure and he does not get enough appreciation. And that does it for Auldey Nemesis Prime. It's neat for what it is. I feel like I would probably be way more into this if I got this before I got the Yellow Park AMK Pro version of Nemesis Prime. But I still think this is cool. I like this and I'm going to keep it. Just the AMK Pro version is bigger, heavier, denser, does more things that I like. You don't have to swap out hands, for one thing. And then the Blocky's version, it's smaller but simpler, and I kind of appreciate that simplicity. This guy just kind of, like, it's neat for what it is, as I said, but he feels like he either needed to be a little bit simpler or a little bit more involved, like a little bit more complex. It's just kind of hitting this middle ground that, for me at least, doesn't quite blow me away, but none of this is to say that I don't think this is good. This is good. I like this, and I really like how you've got these completely unnecessary cape and shoulder pauldron accessories that are so ridiculous. But that's what I like, because as I said before, it really helps this figure to stand out on the shelf. He's still neat to get in a pose and leave him on the shelf in the display. So anyway, that is enough about what I think. What do you all think of Auldey Nemesis Prime? Or if you have any of the other Auldey figures that have come out, Auldey Transformers figures, what do you think of those? And if any of you have that Toy Colors Megatron, I'm jealous of you. Whatever your thoughts, and if you want to rub it in my face, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all. Thank you everybody for watching, and on to more Nemesis Primes.